Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the Daily Scan for Tuesday, May 12th, 2015. Yesterday's announcements, well, there weren't any that were red or green, but I wanted to just take a quick look at this particular report here, Labor Market Conditions Index. And here it is. Consensus prior was negative 0.3. Consensus for this report, which I guess is monthly, this is for April, was 3.1, and the actual was minus 1.9. Now, they say that it's non-official and it's something that that the directors at the Fed, I want you to know, is the most important entity in this country, because everybody hinges on every word that Auntie Yellen says, and this is a number that they use to discuss whether or not they are going to start tapering or increasing interest rates. So if they're talking about starting to taper, it just means that QE is still going on. They're just not talking about it. That's all that there is to it. Tell me that with the economy as weak as it is, and the stock market can keep climbing. It's one of these days, investors are going to figure it out. I'm not sure when, though. But anyway, we just play them as we see them, as I keep on saying. So for today, we have the JOLTS report, which is job opening and labor something or another. And then Treasury budget at 2 p.m., which should give us our little pink bar here for April. So we'll see how we're doing deficit-wise. April should look pretty good because everybody pays their taxes in April. So we'll see if it can match any of these recent 2 years ago bars, like last year and the year before. Last year's blue, year before is whatever color that is. It might be gray. It looks slightly greenish, though. I'm not sure. But anyway, so that should be interesting. I'm always curious about that. Okay, so that's for today, and then the rest of the week, things pick up a little bit. Futures in Asia, since it comes up here, I think I clicked on that. Did I not click on it? Asia is looking mixed, and Europe is bearish across the board. And we kind of look like Europe right now. Let me close this up here. Definitely going to gap down. Whether it continues during the day or not, we'll find out. Gold is up 60 cents overnight, but really nothing to talk about. The VIX is at 1385, so it's up a point, I would say, roughly, from when we looked at it yesterday morning. Oil's at 60.08. I don't like the looks of that. Gold's 1183. Okay, so it's not really going anywhere. Dollar is at 94.39 and $1.12.6 against the euro. All right, and yesterday jumped in on Priceline. Right, that's going to chase Priceline, and it's working out pretty good so far. BIDU, it's making a little bit of money, and even Costco's making a little bit of money right now as the market pulls back. So we're all negative delta up here. Down here on SPX, looks sort of neutral, doesn't it? Well, that's because, we'll talk about this just when we get down to SPX. I got into an Iron Condor, a 5-10 Iron Condor yesterday. So let's look at yesterday's trades right quick here. They are in the spreadsheet. Priceline is here. Right here is the Priceline trade. That's a 50 delta. The SPX trade is here. That is a 510 Iron Condor. Yeah, grab that other row too. There we go. So this is a 510 Iron Condor. In other words, the put had a 5 delta and the call had a 10 delta, and it's 30 days out, so it's a June 2. That's what I did on that one. Now, the only problem that I have with Iron Condos, especially with deltas this low, is the trading cost. So you can't really do this with the ETFs and make any money because your transaction fees are so high. So I'm guessing that the ETF equivalent SPY of SPX is probably around maybe 200. You would be at 200 and 1945. So it's probably right around 195. We'll take a look at a chart. And then here's the BIDU trade. Also a 50 delta. This one we had on our list for yesterday. So we'll look at those as we go through. The A+ list. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. So, interesting evening last night that I wanted to quickly tell you about. We had a front move through, and we had some kind of exciting storms. Nothing really fantastic. A lot of wind. But out in the country, you're going to get a lot of wind anyway. And we got some much needed rain, and maybe a little bit of a break in temperature and humidity for the next couple of days. So that's good, and the grass is green, and we'll have to go out and probably cut it in the next day or two. So that's always fun and exciting. Okay. So today's going to be good. I'll probably be doing a lot of outside work today because we'll have a little bit of a break in the temperature. Alright, let's jump over to charts here. Let's look at SPY right quick. Alright, so SPY, it's a pretty good guess. It's right around $210. So if you're going to do a 510 Iron Condor, and it's going to cost you, just for one lot, it's going to cost you to get in $5. And you're only making, maybe on this one you might make $10 for each lot. So 50% of your transaction costs are going to go up in smoke against your profits. 50% of your profits are going to go for transaction costs. Sorry, I don't know what the heck happened. I started drifting away there. So here's the SPX trade, and I put the Iron Condor on the weekly chart as soon as it comes up here. There we go. Here's the range for the Iron Condor, and of course it expires in the third week. Is that what I said? Let's see, it's a June 2, second week in June. So all it's got to do is, this is break evens that I put in here on that particular trade, and here if it stays within there over this period of time, it's going to be a successful trade, and I'll be looking at possibly putting one of these on every week from now on and see how they work out. Max that I can make from this is $55 or $110 because I did two of them. And my transaction cost is $10, so that's about 10% rather than 50% as it would be on SPY. So that's why I trade SPX, just to let you know. And I got weeklies, I don't have a problem with it. Alright, so be looking, as I mentioned, thinking very seriously about doing one of these every week. can just keep adding to it. We'll have all sorts of colored boxes up here. I think I also put it on this chart here. Yeah, this one. This is just a plain chart. So I probably will be keeping track of it on this particular chart. So if I go up here and I give it a name, save grid as, do I have anything that says option guru, dark no study? Okay, I'm going to save this as, I did, yeah, here we go. And I'll just put no study in here. So when I bring up this particular chart on SPX, the drawing's going to be there. Because I don't synchronize drawings across all charts. That's too messy. So even if I close this and I bring up this particular grid, then this drawing should be here when I display SPX. Okay, let's get going here. Let's go to auto. Alright, so I remember yesterday saying that I would not bet against Apple, but well, I don't know. I'm just not real happy playing these $100 stocks anyway. I like the fatter ones, you know, like Amazon here and Chipotle. Costco, a little shaky. Anything in that $100 range makes me a little bit nervous. I just like to follow Apple. So let's say that we put a trade on here. So what I could do here is just put a text note. Let's say I put it here, and I do Alt, hold down the Alt key, type the number 31, release the Alt key, we get a down arrow, and there's an arrow and an arrow. I don't want that arrow. Yeah, we do have arrows. Let's just take this out of here. I don't know I have no idea what I'm doing here. If I just want an arrow, why don't I just pick an arrow? I'll put it up here because let's just say that there. I'm calling this for a bear call. Okay, not real excited about trading this. You know what, I'm going to put it on my list anyway for today. Let's throw the target up here. Let's just go ahead and let's trade the dang thing. You know, if we get an opportunity here, yeah, you betcha. I'm putting an alert in here. Let's do the whole thing. Instead of arguing with myself, let's just do it, right? Okay, so Apple's on the list. Might as well take advantage of it. I mean, if we're going to have a little bit of a pullback here, or a big one, or whatever we might end up with, then I want to play it. Amazon, just struggling. We do have a target set down here. Not sure what's going to happen with that. BIDU. Why did we not get into BIDU yesterday? I must have taken a big digger later on in the afternoon, because when I looked at it, it wasn't not all that much. When I looked at it at around noon or so, it didn't look very exciting to me. I don't know why I didn't get into it yesterday. I'm sure we got an alert. Alert on BIDU at 11:02. I don't know. I must not have liked it for some reason. For some reason, I didn't like it. I didn't get into it. Chipotle. Chipotle, we're looking at an uptrend here. Chipotle is very strong. There really was no reason that I could see for this move down, at least from an earnings per share. Must have had something to do with their guidance, is all I got to say. But I think they're moving back up, so I'm for them. I am bullish on Chipotle. Okay, here's Costco. 2 trades that we have on Costco. So now we're finally out of the money on this particular one, which is way out there. And hopefully we'll get out of the money on this one. This is deeply in the money. Well, not deeply, but it's pretty solidly in the money by $1 or $2. So we're going to want to see Costco continue in a downward direction. Here, yeah, look at this resistance. Boing, 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 boing. It's holding up here. And which way is the wedge going to break down? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the question. Which way are we going? Gold, not so gappy anymore. Definitely in a pretty solid downtrend. Would not trade this for 50 deltas or anything else. Just there to look at it because we have that covered call. Google is still setting up. We didn't get our indicator for yesterday, so we're going to throw another alert on here and put it on our list for today. So we didn't get confirmation of this down move here, but we're looking pretty good on the weekly. We got confirmation over on the weekly, but we didn't get it on the daily yet. So we might have some opportunities today yet, and I like that. LinkedIn, we have an alert set here. Let's see if it's going to break down. Here it did, but we didn't get confirmation. In a bunch of spaces here, so we're throwing LinkedIn back on the list for today. NDX. It's looking pretty strong. We're just still in an uptrend on this weekly. We need a little bit of a hook down here. We got bearish indicators all over the place here. Bearish, 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 bullish, bullish, bullish. So we're a little bit conflicted on NDX. Netflix, boing. We're in an uptrend. Happy days are here again for Netflix. Come on. So we'll set a target there. Price line. We jumped in on this one yesterday, right here. Expiration this Friday. So this was a chase trade. There's just price line just has so much movement in it. And like I mentioned, price line is already doing quite well, and I may just close that thing out. Let's take a look at the Analyze tab. Say what? Wait a minute, it says we're at 120. What the heck is going on here? 1186, 990, 12. Look at this range. Wow. And 14 shares? Are you kidding me? That's why it's all goofed up there. So this is the locked in from the close yesterday and the Analyze tab. I don't know where it's showing this price. I don't know. Just wait till the market opens on that one. Russell. I might close price line today. I'll make a note of that. If it can, especially if it moves down a little bit more. I'm going to lock in the profits on that one. Russell, sort of like NASDAQ, doesn't it? It was headed down, and then we got a nice gap up, and now it may be headed down again. Russell is going on my setup page. I'm going to throw an alert in here. So we get RUT. And SPX, we're in all over the place here on SPX, but let's look to see if there's another opportunity to do something else. Alright, so interestingly enough, we have a downtrend here. We're waiting for confirmation. We have kind of confirmation over here, but not on the weekly. When we're doing trades 30 days out, we will rely more heavily on the weekly. But we are in a downtrend on the daily. Now, is that an opportunity or not? I don't know. I'm just going to put an alert here because I want to make sure that I come over and I take a look at it. So that's just an alert. Yeah, you saw that. That's an alert. Yep. So this simulated trade here, well, let's see, the one from last week worked out. The next week looks like it's working out, and this is a live trade that is over here on June 1. And then we have the Iron Condor over here, the 510 Iron Condor. So we might have an opportunity up here. Just going to take a look at it. And then last but not least, good old Tesla, ignoring everything and just climbing. So we're going to put a target in down here. If it ever, there we go. So I have a target set up on Tesla, and that is it for today. A really long one, but hopefully I was a little bit depressed about the earnings, my personal earnings over the last month or so. And I was like, oh man. But now things are exciting again. We have some movement here. Volatility's up a whole whopping point. I'm sure it's going to probably go up 2 or 3 points today. So things are getting exciting again. Let's just stick to it, wait for it to happen, and go with the flow. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day and happy trading.